Hello, Evan.
Hello.
What do you want to talk about today?
Well, let's address some of the myths that are circulating around the internet about investing in Bali.
Okay. And let's start with the first and the most major one when it comes to the legal part. Especially when you are a foreigner and you're not so protected as in your own country, especially when it comes to leasehold. It's not like the whole life ownership.
Yeah.
So what if and also the second point we should address is the unreliable developers. So here you also, it's quite difficult to protect yourself when you are not, when you're a foreigner.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. I've been through the same thought journey. I'm not Indonesian, so when I did my first investment here, these were some of the most important questions I had in my head. So let's start by saying there's a lot of goodwill and a lot of local people want to help, but I urge anyone who wants to make an investment here to double check, make a due diligence, and make sure they contact developers, contractors, and stuff that they have public appearance, that they're in the open, that they have a website, that they have clear contact details. That's what we do also to make sure that everyone understands that we're transparent, and when we're putting our name, there's nothing hidden. There are stories of, unfortunately, unprofessional people, either intentionally or unintentionally unprofessional people. Some people want to help, but because the application of law in Indonesia to some areas has let me put it this way. There are a lot of gray areas, unfortunately. So a lot of things that are described by law, but they're not enforced. And that doesn't make it legal, but allows people to operate this way. But I would urge anyone who is investing in Bali to make sure that they double check, they only go with reputable partners. That would be my biggest tip. It's very much possible. There are so many companies like myself and so many other that they're out there and they're doing things the right way. So don't go for saving a little bit of money with someone that knows someone and knows someone else and all that stuff. That's how it works in Bali usually, because you might end up losing a lot later on.
Okay, thank you for so detailed answer. Then when it comes to leasehold extension. So just I will mention that it's not so many cases of extension now because people started to invest not so much time ago.
Yeah.
So there are fears like that it will be impossible because again you're a foreigner.
Yeah. Well, if things done right, meaning that you have a lawyer on your side when you're taking the contract, the notary is a reputable one, then the landlords here are bound by law to abide to whatever is the clause you have agreed. But then when it comes to the clause, one way or another, one would want to have a guaranteed extension. If the extension is guaranteed, then there's nothing that can go wrong. And because this is a major block for a lot of people that want to invest here, we make sure, for instance, in our project, the Ocean Bliss, we own the land. So the extension comes from us, no one else, so we can guarantee it from day one. So the moment we sign the leasehold, we can guarantee also the years of extension.
Thing is that investing in Bali is profitable only in case you rent it out shortly on Airbnb.
You mean short-term rentals such as
short-term
Airbnb?
rent, yes.
Yeah, I would say that this is definitely a myth because there's so many ways you can utilize your assets, right? If we're talking about an investment and we're looking at the villa as an asset, Airbnb obviously is the most known and widely spread one, but also the competition has moved on, right? So there's a lot of platforms, a lot of ways you can rent it. And from my experience, I see that different properties do better in different platforms. So it's not one rule that works for everything. And unfortunately, a lot of management companies, they just, it's just easier for everyone to say, okay, we only work with Airbnb, maybe some Booking, and that's it. But in our case, what we have seen is that renting it either directly or with other channels such as there are Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, or other platforms such as Marriott now has launched something, and so many others, in which you can maximize the return of this investment. So no, it's not just short term. Just for you guys to know, short term has higher daily usually price, but also higher costs associated with it. So sometimes it's just direct, like for monthly or yearly rental, works better for some properties.
Yeah, so usually when it's Airbnb, you need to pay to Airbnb or Booking.com. You also need to pay higher commission to management companies. Sometimes management companies are more interested in daily rent because they take more money from this.
Correct.
So, but we, you.
Yeah, so for us is the management of the property is a complementary service. Like our main business is to build and sell the villas, and we want to make sure that our clients make the most out of their assets, and that's why we went into the management of the villas in order to make sure that they maximize the return on their investment and not for us to maximize profit from there.
Okay, thank you. And the next topic is prices. Property prices in Bali, many people think, are too high because it became too popular. Prices, a lot of new developers coming in and they trying to get as much profit to their pocket as possible.
Yes. I mean, as with everything that brings money, brings also bad professionals that unfortunately give bad name to the market. But I would say overall, the prices are rational. They are high because the demand is also really high. So it's not there's no disparity there. So otherwise the market would have corrected that. We see now it's more than 2 years that the prices have indeed skyrocketed and they don't have any signs of slowing down. The reason why is because demand grows as much as supply does. And I have to say the last couple of years the development has grown a lot, but it looks like there's still a lot of room if we judge from the prices keeping strong.
Yeah, and I think that there are a lot of more options now for different budget, like small apartments or small villas even.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When we're talking about purchasing, yes, the square meter of land in very popular areas has risen a lot compared to a few years, but we have to say that the return is much better than most other places real estate-wise in the world. But now there are much more options. There's lately the trend of apartments in which you can, minimize the spend, let's say, on a per square meter of land, let's say, when you're buying. So there are apartments, there are more premium villas, there are everything in between. It used to be very standard offerings in the market in the past, but now there's so many options for so many different budgets. You go from like less than 100,000 USD to over $1 million easily.
Yeah, and I think it's also, we can mention that not only developers come to Bali, but other businesses, like a lot of new beach clubs are opening, a lot of fancy restaurants, and we see like new areas like Piririnan or Sisek, they may be more premium, maybe the next level of construction, the next level of restaurants and cafes. That's why, like in general, it's like also infrastructure from the government.
Yeah, like private investors, public investors, like we see new schools for the people who want to live here, like gated communities and everything in between. And yes, the growth is real because you still have Brava growing very fast and Canggu in general and Perenan, but then yes, there's like a northwards movement towards Sese and for those who prefer more space and more green around them.
Okay, and the next question is it better, you think, to invest into the larger resorts or like small villas? Or like, because some people think the more infrastructure in the complex, the bigger this complex, it's more luxury, it's more fancy, that's why it's more profitable, more people will come to this resort.
I would say that this is not the best way to judge an investment. Like if you're buying in a location that there's nothing around it, it's in the middle of nowhere, literally, then of course you will have to have a big project with a lot of amenities, restaurant. You have to think the user experience. But then if you're in Berau, I think it's, or in Canggu or somewhere like really, really developed, I think it's a kind of a redundancy to have too many amenities when you have some of the best offerings around you in either walking distance or just minutes drive away. If I think about all the new wellness centers and gyms around Canggu, they're like world-class trainers there, restaurants the same, cafes, pool bars the same. So it depends on the location and the budget, right? So if someone is looking to a less developed to buy in a less developed part of the island, they should look into amenities and gym, pool, and restaurants. If not, it's less of a concern because the person who will be living there most probably will go, to seek out to get the best they can get for their money.
And a lot of this infrastructure and the complex increases the price of the units.
Absolutely,
so maybe
yeah.
it's even not necessary, and you can save money if you have everything like walking distance.
As I said, someone needs to do, this is a basic analysis, right? When you look at an offering, you need to just see where it is. Does it make sense that it has like a tiny, for instance, gym when there's like a huge wellness club, like 2 minutes drive from there. So.
Also, I think you need to compare, to make an analysis of the location, how many developments there are. For example, if big big resorts are building like near each other, it's a big competition between them. And if it's like hundreds of units of apartments in each of resort, it will be difficult to get high occupancy. So people shouldn't forget that there is still a high demand from tourists on some private villas, on maybe even more than on these resorts.
Absolutely, because I think lately people are riding the wave of apartments and this large resorts trend. But yeah, let us not forget what is Bali really known for, the private villas. You have your own pool, your privacy. So yeah, it's an informed decision when you're investing, and it shouldn't be only about the numbers projected at the beginning. I think it makes sense to look at different angles and make an as much as possible informed decision. And I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to help people make an informed decision, what will bring the most for what their goals are, right?
Okay, and the last question will be about the location, especially Canggu. So a lot of people think that Canggu is losing its investment appeal, it's outdated, and what do you think about it? What's the next spot for the successful investment, or Canggu is still this spot?
Well, I have an engineering background, right? So I tend to see things with numbers. Like, show me the numbers, and then I'll tell you that this is true. I do see that, that a lot of people start thinking with the intuition, oh, Canggu is crowded now, I should definitely go outside. Well, I would say make an analysis, find this investment. As I said before, you need to factor in amenities or not, is it a villa or not, is it premium or not? And then make a decision. Canggu is still growing in total. There's bigger brands, bigger names coming. And I've seen now recently a lot of buildings are being repurposed, and they make them more modern and stuff. So there's a lot of investment of businesses happening here. And I see it as a reason for Canggu to not fade anytime soon. There's investment both from outside but also from inside the country, with the huge clubs, for example, that attract so many other businesses around. So I think Canggu is safe if we're looking at investment. Now, if people are looking for really private locations and stuff, that's a very different thing. And that's what I'm saying. Before anyone makes any investment here, they should have a discussion with someone that really knows the place, the industry, and the trends, to discuss what are their goals and how to find the best investment for their goals.
And the last question, Bali in general. Do you think it will lose this trend in 5 and 10 years? Is it possible, even?
Well, if we, in the literal sense of the word possible, anything is possible.
Yes.
If I see this happening in the next 5, 10 years that you said, absolutely no. That's why I have invested in this company, not only with the company, but also with my private I have private villas here and other assets, because exactly it has shown Bali how resilient it is. It's been decades that people are visiting this place, and it only grows. And I'm really confident in Bali, especially now that I see also that the government makes it easy for serious investments that will impact positively both the life here in Bali of those who live here, but also of the tourists, with big infrastructure projects, talking about metro, new roads, new airport. I'm really positive about this location.
I guess these are the main concerns we wanted to discuss. If you have something else you want to share with us, don't hesitate to contact us, and we can provide all detailed information with arguments and yeah.
And with our view, we're not here to sugarcoat anything, but the more we know about the needs of someone, then we can guide them as much as possible.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.